Now 7:36, welcome back to Go, and boy, are you in for a treat today. Right now we have hope for the holidays and beyond with local author and columnist Regina Brett. Her latest book, Little Detours and Spiritual Adventures, is out right now. And so Regina joins us live right now to talk about the book. And, you know, we are told that the book is an essay of 45 personal essays, and they're meant to bring hope to those going through a tough time. So what made you want to write this book? Because this is your fourth book, right?
My fourth book, yes. So I wrote this because people go through things, they think they're alone, but other people have been through them. And I look at like all the detours you face in life. You've faced many, I've faced many, and I shared other people's stories in there. And it's really how to get through that detour and make it become a spiritual adventure. So there's a gift in it, not just for you, but for maybe others that you can bless along the way. And I felt like now we need it, especially after COVID and after just the division in the country. And I think people are struggling a lot. And I felt like it gives people hope, gives them some inspiration so they can go out there and change the world, make it better.
I love the spiritual adventures part. And I must say, for those of you who do not know, Regina Brett is who I credit with helping me to save my life, because you're talking about it in your first book, talking about your battle with breast cancer and you advocating for that. And then that led me to do breast self-exams and find my tumor on my first mammogram and scheduled the first mammogram, and it was cancerous. But you helped me through that process. And so I am definitely saying go out and get that book, because a lot of the different stories of people are like, oh my goodness, I'm going through a tough time. What are some of the essays in there that can help people going through those times?
Well, you're in number 29. There's a chapter on you, because your whole life is an inspirational story. It really, truly is. What you've gone through with the depression, and you shared it, the cancer journey, you shared that. I've shared other people's stories. Ian Friedman is a local attorney. He was in a motorcycle accident, lost the use of his arm, and he said it changed his life, made him a whole different person, and he loves who he is today because of that. Sophie Sereau, a person locally who was she survived a terrorist attack in Bali, talked about being burned and how it made her stronger. She had to learn to, like, I'm choosing to survive. And I think some of us, we have to choose, like, okay, this happened to me, I'm gonna own it. I'm not gonna keep fighting it, but I'm gonna own it and say, how can I make this change my life and change other people's lives? You know, when I was bald from chemotherapy, I felt, you know, kind of like a victim, kind of like a patient, felt, you know, helpless, powerless. But then down the road, I helped create this wig salon at the Gathering Place. And now thousands of people have gotten free wigs. So it's kind of like whatever difficulty you're going through, go through it and then use it to make it easier for the next person going through it. I think that's what makes it worth the journey, is you get through it and you don't just close the door on it and hammer it shut, but you can say, wow, I've been through breast cancer, how can I help the next person? Because somebody's gonna face it.
Why is this a good book for the holiday season?
I think it's a good book for holidays, especially because people look at Hallmark movies and Pinterest, and everybody looks like that was perfect life, you know, Thanksgiving, like they have a big family, I don't, or. And I think that we feel like we're alone, and this is a companion to get you through any kind of stress, especially family bumpy things. I think a lot of pain comes up during the holiday. The family, you know, the things with your parents that you never got through, or your kids. There are a lot of people that don't even speak to each other. I'm at book signings, and people talk about not talking to their child for 5 years, 10 years. And I feel like this book can maybe be that bridge to a better relationship with your family.
Beautiful, beautiful what you said. Now, for people who want to get a copy of this book, how can they, Regina?
So if you go to reginabrett.com, you can order from there. And I also have a list of events on my events page. I'll be at Kent State this week. I love Kent State, where we got together.
Flashes.
And Fairlawn, Barnes & Noble later in the week, Apple Tree, Fireside, a lot of book signings. And people can also read me in the Cleveland Jewish News. I've been there. I have a Substack blog, Little Detours with Regina Brett. But I really think the book is great. It's kind of one size fits all. It gives you joy, it gives you hope, and it's a companion when you feel like you're alone.
And I've read a number of Regina's books. They are good. It's like you can pick up each chapter because of the essays.
That's what I like it. They're short. You know, I call them inspirational stories, essays. You know, if you're waiting in line to mail stuff at UPS or the post office, and you're looking at your watch, you know, read a chapter. You know, make you kinder for the rest of the day.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's my life.
It's always a blessing to have you here, and of course, we'll have all of that information on wkyc.com, so you can get this book for the book lovers in your life. And AJ.